The gospel can be summarized in just one sentence: unity with the King. But let's be honest. That sentence not only means very little, but misses a lot if you don't know the story at the heart of the Bible. This story is what Christians call the gospel, a word that literally means good news. Really, it's this tragically joyful adventure that takes the whole Bible to tell. But in short, it's a story about a perfect kingdom that we are entirely unable to enter. So now the gospel is a shorthand for the epic story explaining how we enter this kingdom. The earliest Christians told this story through what we now call the Apostles' Creed. You see, in the beginning, we believe that God the Father Almighty created everything. We're introduced to the King, God, in His kingdom. It's a place of belonging, safety, justice, abundance, but in one instant, humanity loses it all. Creation is deprived of goodness due to the chaos of sin, and like lightning, we build a rival kingdom, thinking we would make better rulers than God. But if we entered His kingdom like that, we would try to overthrow Him at every chance. So God announces that He would bridge the divide between the two kingdoms. God and God alone would one day break in through creation and rescue humanity from their chaos. As the Bible moves on, the depth of the problem is clear. Humanity's kingdoms are this chaotic swirl of injustice, violence, and confusion. Nation rises against nation. People come and go. So God chooses for Himself a new nation, the enslaved people of Israel. God breaks into the rebellion and rescues them from Egypt, forming them into a new nation and promising His kingdom through them. But they too fall into warfare, injustice, and betrayal. And the chaos of sin and death was a vortex that sucked the people out into exile. And amid that darkness, prophets appear like stars against the darkness of the night sky. They remind each other that God the King would one day bring everlasting peace. The prophet Zechariah said it this way: "Your king is coming, a good king, who makes all things right, a humble king, riding a donkey." But these voices fade along with hope into the dark, altogether unheeded. But God speaks light into the dark when He sent the King, whose name is Jesus. We believe He is God's only Son, conceived by the Holy Spirit and born of the Virgin Mary, so that He can enter our self-indulgent world of injustices humble and good. He is Himself so pure that whatever He touches, He makes clean. Jesus says that God's kingdom is near and re-entrance is possible. People enter this kingdom when they believe in the message He proclaims, that He is the King. But some have a lot to lose by this message. Some are kings of their own kingdom. So on the Passover, they grab Him by night and take Him to be killed. He's tortured at the hands of Pontius Pilate, crucified, dies, and is buried. He descends to the deepest depths, dying a humiliating death on the cross. But then, a miracle pierces reality. When on the third day Jesus rises from the dead, He ascends into heaven and sits at the right hand of God the Father Almighty as the enthroned King of a new creation. Christians can now look forward to the day when the King will come again to establish His kingdom here on earth. But we believe this happens by the Holy Spirit, who calls us into a community and transforms us into the image of the King. Now, this may sound too good to be true, but if we have been united with Him in a death like His, we will certainly also be united with Him in a resurrection like His. And we will never have to worry about being banned from this kingdom because of our unity with the King. And that is good news.